served us well. The process of going back is what we call restructuring.
Now, as you alluded to, one of the key things that kind of highlights continually this issue is insecurity within the country.
Yes.
You have all kinds of things happening now. You have herdsmen and farmers, you have kidnappings, armed robbery, and all of that. That's in addition to those we have always had.
Yes.
You have been particularly in the forefront, if I may use that phrase, of the victimization.
Yes.
You were kidnapped.
Yes.
Your farm has been continuously
tagged and burnt, yes.
By these people. Now, I wonder if, to some extent, what you have experienced has tended to give you probably a different outlook to what is really going on, as opposed to those who are simply reading about it or watching it on the
Thank you very much indeed.
Television.
Thank you very much indeed. Yes, what happened to me brought the problem powerfully home to me. It also demonstrates the fact that whatever is a national problem is the problem for each and every one of us. Nobody can contract out of any national problem, because I never thought that I could be kidnapped on my own farm. I've been going there for 30 years. So yes, what happened was shocking, was unexpected, but it's part of a national problem. I have said several times, and I repeat it here, that the problem of herdsmen has been exacerbated by the failure of many of the state governments in the north to take care of the needs of herdsmen. It was not so in the days of Sardauna, in the old northern region. There were grazing reserves, watering holes, all kinds of facilities provided for herdsmen and their cattle. This has not been the case, or to the same extent, in the last 20, 30 years. And to compound the problem still, the Lake Chad
It's drying up.
has dried to less than 1/4 of its original surface, meaning that the over 1 million people and herdsmen who earn their livelihood from the lake can no longer do so. And they've been added to that are those uprooted by Boko Haram. So you have, and then the desertification has been continuously eroding the arable land in Nigeria. So you put all these factors together, you find a tremendous pressure on herdsmen and their cattle. And the response will come from the state governments and the federal government to take care of their needs, because they are Nigerians, they're entitled to their livelihood. But that should not mean that they now become a threat to other people.
Which is what they have become.
Yes, and become a threat to other people and a threat to the unity of Nigeria. So I put the blame squarely on the state government, whose business it is, whose duty it is to take care of them. The Constitution makes it the duty of state governments to take care of animal husbandry in all its ramifications. So there's no place to hide for them. They must accept responsibility for what is happening.
Now, I'm happy you mentioned the state governments. Yes. Some of the state governments, for example, the neighboring Ekiti state, Benue state.
No, when I say state governments, I mean in the north, where cattle, to which cattle are native, it is a natural domain. When we see cattle here, it's cattle that has walked from Kano.
Of course, down here.
Yes.
But let me use Benue state as an example. Yes. It's in what you call the North Central.
Middle Belt.
Yes. Now, the state government promulgated an anti-open grazing law.
Yes.
And it seemed as if instead of solving the problem, it only made it worse. Mm-hmm. Because following that, the rate of clashes has gone sky high.
Yes.
Only a little while ago, the vice president and the president, as a matter of fact, made mention of the international dimension. While President Buhari talked about people coming down from places like Libya with arms and so on, and linking it to our ECOWAS protocol on free movement, which was what the vice president emphasized, it's not absolutely clear that all these people are actually Nigerians.
Well, please let me come in there. ECOWAS protocol or not, there are regulations. If you are coming to Nigeria to exercise your right as an ECOWAS citizen, are you entitled to bring an AK-47 with you? Of course you are not. So that's the difference. There's no place to hide. The government has a responsibility to keep out of Nigeria dangerous elements. I was in the Ministry of Economic Development when the discussion on ECOWAS first started under Professor Adebayo Adedeji. So we were there at the very beginning. The ECOWAS protocol does not allow for neighboring people to come in with military kinds of arms. So that is not acceptable. And then government has a duty to protect our borders against undesirable elements. Not legitimate ECOWAS citizens, but those who are not. Also, the promulgation of the law by Benue State is absolutely legitimate. Of course, each time any government makes a law, the criminal elements will oppose it. They will fight him. It's for what is to be done is for all levels of government to cooperate to implement that law. If the people attacking those in Benue know that the federal government really means business and puts its might behind the state government, the clashes will have disappeared. The federal government, in my view, has been delinquent in protecting the people of this country against the herdsmen. Look, I want to tell you now, herdsmen and the cattle come to my farm every night, even now. I've not screamed out because I've not yet planted maize and cassava, which is what they come to eat. When they come now, they eat grass and go away. But every night, they come. So the moment I plant grass and I plant maize and cassava, the trouble will start again. Now, if the government knows about this, what are they doing about it? You must protect us. You see, both the herdsmen and the farmers are citizens of Nigeria. Both are entitled to work and live in peace under the protection of the government. That is what we want to see. And every state government has a duty under the Constitution to pass a law to protect its citizens against any form of danger or threat, either to the life of the citizen or to his livelihood. I even contemplated at one stage that if some state governments are not prepared or willing to pass a new law, we have an old law that introduced the business of forest guards from colonial times. We have forest guards who manage and protect unplanted trees that are commercial. All you need now is to amend that law, give it an additional mandate that these forest guards who traditionally protect commercial wood from illegal exploitation will now have the additional duty of protecting planted crops against any threat or danger, so that they will have a two-headed mandate by merely amending an old law that has existed from colonial times. That is the basic thing that must be done, so that what the herdsmen are doing must be illegal before
action is then
can be taken, so that whoever is taking action knows it's on the side of the law. As it is now, Yoruba say, "Ibi tí ò sófin kò ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀." Where there is no law, there is no crime. So law creates crime. The law must be passed to make it a crime. That's not to say that cattle people should not exist. I can become a herdsman myself. I can buy land or take part of my farm, fence it, and put cattle there. Nothing wrong with it. What is wrong, what is objectionable, what we will continue to fight is allowing a set of Nigerians to earn their livelihood at the expense of other Nigerians and at the expense of the lives of other Nigerians. That is not acceptable, and that must be stopped by both the state and the federal government.
Now, there are those who have also pointed out that there's the complicity, that what makes this otherwise fairly simple situation even more complex is the seeming complicity of the security agencies.
Yes.
The Inspector General of Police was quoted as saying that at the very beginning, when this started, that this was not herdsmen, farmers clashes, this was community clashes. Yes. This was a lack of understanding.
In my view, that's a very irresponsible statement by a very high-level public officer.
The defense minister also
You see,
said something
you see,
similar.
the problem of our country is that people are allowing their ethnic background to influence the performance of the official duty. Whereas when all of us are sworn in, either as permanent secretary or secretary of the government or IG, we swear that we will not allow our personal interests to influence the way we perform our duties. That what is being breached. That's what is happening. Because if they were behaving like proper public officers, the way we are brought up to perform, they would not have made such statements, provocative statements. The police officer knows what is intra-community fight and what is an attack from outside and the cause of the attack. It's not a new thing. So with that kind of attitude, it becomes extremely difficult to control this problem. And again, I come back to restructuring. Under restructuring, every state will have its own constitution, as the regions had in the past. Every region had its own constitution. As a student in Ibadan University in 1960, I studied 4 constitutional documents. 4, not 1. The Nigerian Constitution, the Constitution of Eastern Nigeria, the Constitution of Northern Nigeria, and the Constitution of Western Nigeria. When Midwest was created in 1963, the Constitution of Midwestern Nigeria. There were 5 constitutional documents, 6 police forces. That was the kind of plural society we had. Now we have been forced into one monolithic, unitary kind of arrangement. It will never work. It's not working, it will not work. So I want to appeal to all Nigerians, whether from the east or west or north, please, let's put our heads together and go back to what we used to have that served us well. Forget the title. If you don't like restructuring, don't use restructuring. But let's just go back to what will make sense, what will make us live together in unity, in progress, in safety. That arrangement guaranteed all those things. The present one does not.